What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com and welcome back to Rockets Hits and Heartbreaks. Gonna be a little bit of a shorter show today because we only have one ticket to talk about. And to be quite honest, the Rockets were pathetic for most of the week. I tell you what, we could not do anything right, it felt like, for most of the week. We did hit a few little ones on Thursday and Friday. Nothing that we need to talk about on this show, that is for sure. I'd love to give you some heartbreaks, but it seems like we, for most of the week, either hit very little tickets as far as like, $96 pick five ticket and it pay $112 or $150, or we were like 3 out of 5. And it's like, God, we're not even close. And a lot of it was structuring problems. And then some of it was just like, that's horses I would never use. So I went back and I looked at a lot of different things. It's like, I couldn't make a lot of adjustments, and a lot of the tickets I couldn't really present on here because it would have ended with, I really don't know what I would have done different that time. So it was just a rough week for the Rockets until at least Sunday at Oakland Park, the late pick 5. Finally, we cashed one, and boy, it was nice. And you kind of felt like you were jinxed all week for a while until this Oakland late pick 5 on Sunday. So yeah, this one kind of it didn't save the week, but at least it made the week not a total disaster. A $96 ticket on that late pick 5 Sunday at Oakland. We'll get into it now. You see kind of one of our normal ones, 3x4 by 4 by 2 by 2. Sometimes I talk about it when we miss one on some of those races where we went too deep. It's like, oh boy, if we just would have singled and added a horse somewhere else, we would have been good. Not the case here. The second choices that we put in those 2 deep races won both of them. So that ended up being very, very good for us. $96 ticket, and the payout was $775.90. So a pretty good little way to end it. We also had a $32 pick 4 ticket for this sequence that paid $207.25. So a very good ending to a very shitty week, to put it bluntly. It wasn't great. You know me, if you've watched this enough, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. And I'll tell you flat out, there are weeks that when you're playing pick 5s and pick 4s, you are just pulling your hair out. And that was me, at least on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday wasn't so bad, but Wednesday, Friday, Saturday for sure. I think some of it had to do with the off tracks at Aqueduct and Gulfstream. Now, these are always updated for scratches, and they're always updated if the track changes. And to be quite honest, we knew at Aqueduct and Gulfstream we were going to have off track, so it's not like the handicapping was for like a fast track and that it was off. No, that's really not the case. It's really, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm just saying some of the results were just like, that's kind of weird. I don't know how we could have got there. So I think maybe that played a little bit into it. Oakland's always kind of a hit and miss track. You either nail it or you're way off. So that played a little bit into the Oakland failures until obviously this race or this sequence, which made you a profitable Oakland week. All right, enough rambling. Let's go on and let's talk about the sequence here. Let me put up the ticket so you can follow along. There is the ticket, and let me bring up our results, and then we'll go through it. If I could ever hit the right button. All right, here we go. All right, let's kick it off here. Race number 5 is where this thing started. So here we go. We went 5, 11, 12 here, and look how it came in, 12, 11, 5. So got all 3 of the top horses. Honestly, a little upsetting because when you haven't had a lot of luck and then your top choice wins and it's a race where you almost went too deep, you're like, uh-oh, we may have wasted a bullet. You almost singled at times. Could have wasted a couple bullets, but alas, you get through it. And so that's the good news. But I was a little bit leery when the top choice won in a race where we thought about going short end. But 3 deep, got it home, was pretty happy. This race, this was a good one for us. The number 1, we used a Tipsy Gal, paid $10.20. I say it was good because the 10 was in second. We did not use that horse, so it was nice to get through that one. Next leg, got the favorite home in a race. We went 4 deep. That always kind of makes me a little sick, but you did at least advance. I would have loved to see, maybe a different horse win that one, but we'll take it. We're 3 for 3. This was a long kind of stretch battle between the 9 and the 2. The 9 kind of kicking clear the last kind of stride win by half. So some anxious moments, but got the job done. Go on to the next race. The 13 was the late ad after scratches. And I said last week, if you buy the Rockets, make sure to check about an hour before that first post. Usually we get them updated sooner, about an hour and a half, 2 hours before, but it's always good to come back and check. So the 13 was not on the original ticket because the 13 was not in the race at the time we did the original ticket. But 13 draws in. Ash Flat was the horse and seemed like one to use after our top choice, the 4 Jackman, scratched out of the race. So we used the 7 and the 13. 13 comes in. Boy, he took his sweet ass time getting there. Let's put it that way. The very last couple of strides, the 13 got past the 8. Then finally, last leg, we went 2 deep with the 2 and the 3. We ran 1-3 in this race. 2 kind of seemed to never be in doubt about halfway down the stretch. Looked like he was the best horse. Well, in all honesty, at the top of the stretch, looked like he was going to win. He won, didn't have to sweat it out. Good news is, if the 3 wins, it pays about, don't quote me on it because I've already forgotten, but about $4.15, I think. But if the 3 won, it would have paid $4.15. The 2 wins, and we get $775.90. So that was important in a week where we struggled. To get that extra $300 was a nice little, like I say, a nod of, okay, well, we're not completely dumb. We haven't lost our touch completely, because you do, like I said, you feel like that when you do these every day and you don't have a ton of success, especially after a couple of weeks where we've done pretty well. All right, though, let's quit being negative. $96 ticket does pay $775.90. Let's go through it quickly, get you out of here today, and kind of go through what we were thinking. So the first race here, Arkansas bred claimers here. We went 3 deep with the 5, 11, and the 12. These Arkansas bred races always get you a little bit scared. We looked at the spotlight number. The 5, the 11, and the 12 were really the 3 standouts. 83, we did have an 81 from the 6, but an 83 from the 11, and then a 93 for the 12. And I said almost singled in the spot. And that's kind of why this horse looked like a standout. But it's an Arkansas bred race. Those can usually be wild. Bad post at 12. I know they're going 1 turn, and that doesn't matter quite as much. But still, bad post. And, oh, by the way, was only beaten 26 lengths last time out at Louisiana Downs. So, no, I wasn't going to single the horse. However, with an Arkansas bred, these races are usually pretty weak, right? And so open company races, even if it's at Louisiana Downs or Evangeline, much tougher than a $20,000 claimer here at Arkansas. Kind of look, the last time this horse was up against Arkansas bred race company, won by 11 at this distance as well. So just kind of felt like the one to use here. The 11 was our second choice coming off that layoff. You're going to see that a lot with Arkansas breds this time of year. You're going to see big layoffs because they don't really run them much outside of Oaklawn because they have trouble winning. Case in point, look at the 12, who won this race pretty easily and was 26 lengths worse than the winner last time out at Louisiana. All right, but this horse, coming off the layoff, horrible race to end the season, but had some good ones here. One for Arkansas bred, maiden claiming 20, Arkansas bred claiming 25, got third, only beating a length, so obviously made sense. And then the 5. This is a horse that did win outside of Arkansas bred company last time out. However, it was pretty low on the totem pole there at Remington Park, 7-5 maiden claimers, but made sense here to get back to Arkansas bred 20. I thought it was a pretty good spot for the 5. Like I said, you go to the results, and we had the try basically here, 12, 11, 5, and we had the try in order because that was our top 3 in order. So good way to kick it off there. All right. We used 4 horses in the 6, the 1, the 2, the 6, and the 9. And we'll kind of go through it here. The 2 was the heavy favorite. We liked that horse a bit. We liked the 6 a little better. That's actually the horse we put on top. We went, as far as order-wise, 6, 9, 2, and 1. The 1 was the last horse on the ticket. Went 4 deep, and the 1 wins it. So that is a very, very good thing and a very good feeling. The 6 house record, like I said, put on top. First off, the claim for Carl Broberg kind of speaks for itself. Usually you see some improvement. Horse was in an allowance at Colonial and now dropping down to the 20K claiming level. So made sense that this horse on the class drop would be tough. We also, like I said, used the 9, a horse that's getting class relief from Churchill Downs. Did not like that the horse had just been beat badly, but still you go back and it's like, okay, when this horse is spotted, okay, running pretty well. So we're going to kind of bounce back after being in some hard races. Kind of liked her a little bit as well. The 2 was a heavy favorite, dropping out of a starter allowance race, 2 races back, beat much tougher company at Churchill Downs. That was also the first race off the claim for Tom Amos. So we thought the 2 made a ton of sense coming back down, but didn't trust her fully, obviously, as we used all these other ones. And then the main thing here with the 1 Tipsy Gal, first off the claim for Chris Hartman, and he just points his horses to this Oaklawn meet. Chris Hartman, Robertino Diodoro, 2 guys, Johnny Ortiz usually. He's kind of off to a slow start this year, but usually first 4 or 5 weeks of Oaklawn, Hartman, Ortiz, Diodoro, going to use them heavy. So that's why the 1 Tipsy Gal was on the ticket. Also getting class relief. But again, hadn't been running very well at all, but just kind of thought Chris Hartman would get her and she would be doing much, much better. And obviously, I'm not a big workout guy, but the horse had been working very fast since getting over to Hartman. So he put up a pretty improved performance. So 1 gets the job done. The 9, we used that one. He got in 3rd. And then some of our other ones, kind of some wasted uses. The 7 right here, kind of mid-pack, and then the 6, second to last. So other ones did not run very well whatsoever. All right, let's go on to the 3rd leg of this. Again, we went 3 deep in the spot, 4 deep in this spot, and we needed all 4 in here, as you're going to see. We had the 10 on top, and whoops, I didn't mean to click that. 100 on that spotlight, pretty solid. The 9 with a 97, the 7 with a 109, and the 5 with a 99. You had some other ones in here that were kind of around that number as well. We kind of dug in on them and did not like them quite as well. Diodoro, I just mentioned him. He had 2 in here, the 7 and the 9. Christian Torres jumped up on aboard the 9, so that's a pretty good sign. It's kind of one of his go-to riders. So definitely the Diodoro horses made a ton of sense. Don't have to go too further in depth with them. Good numbers, good trainer. It seemed logical to use them. The 5 was Tom Amos. I'll click on him. Just a horse that had been running pretty well at this level. 2nd last time out at Churchill Downs. Same level. Made sense that horse would be on the ticket there. The 10 Extravagant for Kenny McPeak getting class relief here. Thought that was going to be very important as well. 1 at the maiden 30 level by 14 at Keeneland 3 races back. Tried that starter allowance company. Don't blame him. Should have after winning by 14. Didn't run poorly this first time. 2nd time, not that great. That's why we were dropping down. And you look, the 9 does get the job done. That 10 that we mentioned for McPeak gets 3rd in the race. Kind of a troubadour. Very disappointing there, 2nd to last. And then the 5, Coastal Chaos, not much either, got 6. So not great for the other 2 that we used, but got the 9 home, and that's all that matters for the pick 5s. All right, 7 and the 13 in this leg. Like I said, the 13 drew in. Our top choice was the 4. I'll click on him. Horse ran really well, back-to-back races at Remington and against allowance and starter allowance. Really thought he would be tough in this spot. Just scratch, so that kind of sucked. The 7, who got 3rd in this race, been running well against allowance horses at Churchill Downs. Like you said, hit the board in 4 straight allowance races at Churchill Downs. It just seemed like a logical horse to use. Unfortunately, I may not use it well. I shouldn't say unfortunately, but because we're learning about this horse. But it's 5 times now where he's kind of ran a non-threatening, type of. I guess you can't really say that. The race is 3 and 4 back. He was threatening to win. Let's say it's now 3 times in a row he had ran a non-threatening hit the board type. Kind of not what you want to look for now. It's like, could he just be a hit the board type of horse? It doesn't show. He didn't hit the board in here. I thought he did. I thought maybe he got disqualified or something. I thought he was up for 3rd. Maybe I was seeing things. He actually got last in this race. Well, never mind. I could have swore. Maybe I got him mixed up with the 8. Anyway, doesn't matter. For our purposes, he might just kind of be a horse that we're not going to play because he's hitting the board too much coming into today. And then he was last in this one. All right, let's go to Ash Flat. The horse ended up winning. Looky here, Chris Hartman once again coming in with one, moving it way up in class. This was interesting, all right? And this was a telltale sign that this horse was going to run pretty well today. Last time out, or excuse me, 2 races back, was claimed off Tom Amos, put for 50,000. Put in a 32,000 race and won. Was claimed, but the claim was voided. So that kind of makes me think, okay, claim for 50, and we wheel him back in a $32,000 claimer. That's not ideal. Usually, you want to put him right back for what you claimed him for at the least. So I kind of think the horse had a little something wrong with him, right? Try to put him for 32. It's like, okay, let's put him for 32. Maybe he'll get claimed. We'll take him off our hands, and we can get a win. Okay, got claimed. Great. Claim was voided. Speculation was right. Horse has a little something wrong with him. Now we show up at Oaklawn, and we're in an allowance. It's like, I think they fixed the problem, right? I mean, if the horse still had a little bit of an issue, maybe you put him in a 30K claimer or a 50K or a 40K. You put him in an allowance. That's a good sign that Hartman kind of figured out what little issue this horse might have. And so it worked out. The horse wins. And so I just thought that the jump back up in class for a trainer who obviously knows what he's doing. Sometimes you see that and it's like the trainer's winning at 2%. And it's like, well, he's an idiot. he's over putting the horse. But with Hartman, 22% guy, yeah, he kind of knows what he's doing. He's not going to waste a race. I thought that was a really good sign putting in the allowance. So Ash Flat was one to definitely put on the ticket based on that and was able to get the job done. So let's go now to the 9th race on the card. And we went 2-3 in this one to end it, try to get this home. Really loved the 3. And this is a horse we almost singled. Had the spotlight number here just a little bit better than everybody else. Really good connections with Carl Broberg. I mentioned him. Claimed this horse 2 races back. Liked the horse so much, put him right in the stakes. First out, got second, but ran pretty well. And then the next race here in an allowance. So after claiming for 40,000, 2 protected races, just thought that loved that horse quite a bit. Sunny Isle Beach is the other one we use. And this was one, like I said, we almost singled the 3 and stayed away, but we ended up using this horse. Claimed by Sure 3 races back. Sure is a pretty darn good trainer. Put the horse in for 20. Horse won. Protected him next time out. Got second, only beaten a length and a quarter. Now we're going to stretch back out to a mile and a 16th. Had some decent races at the level or at the distance in the past. So just kind of a trainer play more than anything else. Didn't want to leave him off the ticket. Hit to 20% this year. Kind of a new trainer to Oaklawn. I thought, we'll see what happens here. I kind of like this 2. I kind of think if we're not going to single the 3, we better put the 2 on the ticket. That's where I got confused. That's where our horse got 3rd, not the race before. We went too deep in both, and I got confused there. So the 3 does get 3rd here. Sunny Isle Beach wins it. Like I said, turning for home, you knew he had it. You knew it was over. He looked really, really good. The 3 Patty Extreme, I would not be afraid to play back. Kind of got an inside trip, made a run late. I think with an outside trip, a little bit of room to run, I would look for the 3 Pretty Extreme next time out. Probably one I'll put on the ticket. But the 2, Sunny Isle Beach, gets it done. Like I said, just kind of had a hunch there. This horse was doing pretty well after getting claimed for the new barn and thought the horse would run pretty well here. And the other big thing, forgot to mention, it did kind of look like this pace would fall apart. So we did want some horses coming from out of it. And Sunny Isle Beach definitely fit that bill as well. So a couple of reasons there to use the 2-3. Said almost singled the 3, ended up going 2-3, and thank goodness we did, because if we singled, we would have lost. All right, that's it. I said it'll be a little bit of a shorter show. Didn't have a ton to talk about because, well, not a ton to talk about when you don't do very well. But we did finish off well with that ticket. Happy to get that one home at Oaklawn. And like I said, just kind of a little bit of a save for a bad week. All right, this week we've got Christmas coming up, but this week last year, we did really, really well at Gulfstream in Tampa. I think it was December 23rd of last year. We hit a $4,000 pick 5 at Tampa. So that was fantastic. We will have, let me pull up the schedule real quick so I'll let you know, because obviously we have a very light schedule, but we will have a lot of rockets put out this week. We're going to do a bunch of them because, like I said, we do have a lighter schedule, but we do have some tracks running, and a lot of tracks that we do well with the Rockets are running this weekend, or this week, I should say. Wednesday, we're going to do Gulfstream Park and Tampa. Thursday, December 22nd, we will do Gulfstream Park, Fairgrounds, and Tampa. On Friday, we will go Fairgrounds, Gulfstream, and Tampa again. And on Saturday, Christmas Eve, we will go Gulfstream and Tampa. Sunday, Christmas, obviously, we don't have any tracks running, so no product there. We'll be right back on Monday, December 26th, with Gulfstream, Santa Anita, and Fairgrounds on the 26th. So that's kind of the schedule for the holiday. A lot of Rockets coming up. All right, guys, that's it for that. That's it for us. Thank you very much for watching this video once again. Not the best news all week, but you know, nice way to end the ticket. Hopefully some of you guys got that one home at Oakland. All right, guys, thanks everybody for watching. We'll not be back for the Rockets next week. Taking a little break for the holiday, but we'll be back in January for Rockets Hits and Heartbreaks. All right, hope everybody has a great holiday, and we'll see you after the holiday for more of this show. Thanks everybody for watching.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track across the country. We're ramping up for the 2023 Kentucky Derby, and we want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to Racing Dudes YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.